Today on CityCast Nashville, it's time for our Friday News Roundup. Joining us today is our executive producer, Whitney Pasterek, and Nashville Scene columnist and CityCast Nashville contributor, Nicole Williams. The Boring Company answered some questions about the Tesla tunnel, but we've moved on to wondering what the heck is the Nashville Innovation Alliance? Plus, another superstar spotted doing karaoke at the Lipstick Lounge. It's Friday, September 12th. I'm your host, Marie Cecile Anderson, and this is what Nashville's talking about. Opryland has entered the chat. Turns out they too are vying for a stop on the Tesla tunnel train. Whoop, whoop. Oh, sorry, I said train. Silly me. It's not a train. It's electric cars run one by one, driven like a parade underground by private drivers with fancy lights. The Nashville Business Journal is reporting that the owner of Nashville's largest hotel and second biggest convention space has met with the Boring Company and is all about their tunnel plans. Whitney, Nicole, I want to be just completely honest. Having this thing go to Opryland makes way more sense to me than going to the Capitol. What do y'all think?
I mean, the first thing it made me think of was when we spoke to David Figler when this project got announced here on the show. And he said that all of the casino owners in Las Vegas were like, I'll build a station, because they don't want to be left out, if it works. But to your point, Marie, that does make a lot of sense. So much traffic through the airport goes out there.
And I used to produce large events, and I did produce one at Opryland 2 years ago. And a big contingency for the visitors was how to get them to Opryland. Do they rent cars? Do we get a bus? Like blah, blah, blah. So if we could just have shot them through a tunnel there.
I love the idea of the tunnel as like a slingshot.
Yeah. It's a hydraulic tube.
Or like the hydraulic tube at the bank.
Oh my gosh, yes, at the bank.
Isn't that what the Hyperloop was supposed to be? Was like a hydraulic? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Here's my one concern about that. What do we know about Opryland when it rains?
It floods.
What's right next to Opryland?
A river.
Opry Mills.
Oh, no, the Opry Mills is correct. The Cumberland River is right there next to it. So where's that tunnel going to go, y'all?
But it's weatherproof.
Yeah, we should probably also mention that the Nashville Banner and the Nashville Post, I believe, reported on an 18-page document that the Boring Company sent to the mayor's office, Mayor Freddie O'Connell, in response to a bunch of questions that the mayor's office had. And who really cares what's in the memo? But like the intrigue of it is that they tried to mark the memo. The Boring Company tried to mark the memo as proprietary and confidential.
I know. This is amazing.
In theory, like get around the Tennessee open records laws.
This was going to be our next point of contention, is that the Banner, the Post, and even the Lookout all reported on this week. The thing about them sending, quote, proprietary and confidential information to the city and making the city sign an NDA is, like you mentioned, Nicole, open records laws, but also then they just sent their proprietary and confidential responses straight out to the media and put them on their website?
Yes, the Banner spoke with Laura Fox, who is a very high up attorney in Metro Legal. They also looked at some of her emails back and forth with the Boring Company, and I thought her frustration was palpable in her responses to the Boring Company, because she was like, bro, we gave you 7 days to talk to a court if you wanted to get this under seal or declared confidential so that we can't release it. We don't see anything in there that would exempt you from the Public Records Act, but we're going to give you some time. And then you just went and sent it to the media and didn't even tell us. So now we look like we're trying to hide something.
It's a trap. Well, let's talk about just briefly what is in those answers. They sort of did the same thing they've been doing this whole time, which is like they answer but don't give any specifics, right? Like, no, don't worry, It's going to be great. The mayor's questions revolved a lot around safety. And the good news is that the Boring Company has now said that they will be responsible for any injuries that occur within the tunnel. But they also want us to know that injuries are unlikely, quote, due to Music City Loop's advanced safety features. Now, I really hope that that's a typo and that they meant to say due to the Music City Loop's advanced safety features, because I don't like this thing where we're just calling things like Sphere now, Roomba.
Okay, why is Roomba in it?
Because that's
Don't
how
bring
I
Roomba
refer to
into
Roomba. Anyway, the Boring Company also says they've had productive meetings with the Nashville Fire Department and State Fire Marshal's office, and they've invited Fire Chief Swan and members of the mayor's office to Vegas to tour the 2 miles of tunnel there and see how pretty the lights are. Another thing that the Lookout reported this week is that Republican State Senator Mark Pody, who represents some of the eastern part of Davidson County, including the airport, has now heard enough. He's moved past his original concerns and is now suggesting the tunnel should also go to the East Bank and out to Lebanon, where he lives, where it could connect with the Music City Star, which is a what?
A train.
A train.
And where does it go?
Downtown. Well, and then this just in, they pushed their completion date. Now instead,
Did they?
They certainly did. Who saw that coming? I don't know. Now, instead of the Music City Loop opening early spring of 2026, it is set to be moving people one by one by early 2027. In a statement from the Boring Company, they said the project is currently in the design phase. This is admittedly an aggressive schedule.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Be aggressive.
A-G-G-R, Sis Ivy. Well, that completes tunnel time for another week. Let's move on and do a couple quick updates on Metro stories we've covered on the show in the past. Marie, 2 big things happened this week.
That's right. Metro Legal has recommended a hearing on the allegations that District 1 council member Joy Smith Kimbrough demanded $500,000 to support a liquor warehouse development in Bordeaux. The Ethics Committee will meet on September 18th to set a date for that hearing.
And Councilmember Kimbrough is really the gift that just keeps on giving. According to News Channel 5, at a recent community meeting she'd organized, Kimbrough spoke about the ethics complaint and told the audience, quote, "I'm going to tell you right now, that liquor boy is a liar."
Is it the Prohibition era?
That boy's a liar.
Oh my gosh.
I can't get over it.
It's amazing. And in good news for Nashville elected officials, according to the Nashville Banner, a new law that threatened local elected officials with a felony charge punishable by jail time if they voted in favor of so-called sanctuary city policies will not be enforced by the Tennessee Attorney General's office because the Constitution provides absolute immunity for all legislative votes, whether at the federal, state, or local levels.
So this is fascinating. And I know that Councilmember Sean Parker is like mini melting down online over the confusing and not necessarily ideologically predictable decisions that the Tennessee Attorney General, Jonathan Skrmetti, is making. So some council members sued, which we've talked about before on the show, to enjoin this particular part of that immigration omnibus package that was passed by the General Assembly. And at the first stage, the court said, hey, this is not constitutional. The Attorney General could have chosen to appeal that decision. Instead, he said, listen, we agree. It's not constitutionally defensible. We don't have a leg to stand on, essentially. So we're just going to back down on this one, which is fascinating because General Skrmetti has made a habit of being very aggressive in defending legally questionable laws passed by the General Assembly.
Like withdrawing healthcare from transgender children?
Yes. And so you could see, obviously, he won that in the Supreme Court very recently, won that case. So you could see a path, and I think the General Assembly saw a path with this Supreme Court that maybe if we pushed it all the way, we could make new law.
Right.
Like, I don't think anyone in the General Assembly thought that this was constitutional under the current understanding of the Constitution. But like with some other laws that the General Assembly has passed in recent years, they're trying to make new precedent at the Supreme Court and to really shape the future.
So in this case, did they just get tired? Is Skrmetti just going on fall break? Like,
I think everyone has a line, and he also has to manage a department with a budget, and he only has so many resources to put into various goings on in the department. So if he's looking at all of these things that they're trying to defend and he says, I don't see a path for this one, why move forward?
Y'all know I am a brand new dog mom, and Miss Lottie is very clear about her priorities. Sleeping in, not on her watch. As a border collie, she is relentless. When she wants a walk, she gets a walk. I gotta get out of bed, grab what I can, and head to the park. That's why I am so grateful for Huel Black Edition powder. That's Huel. It's a complete meal that keeps me full, focused, and ready to chase after my very determined dog. At less than $3 per meal, it's packed with 40 grams of plant-based protein and 27 vitamins and minerals. No added sugar, gluten-free, and it tastes amazing in salted caramel or chocolate. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or post-dog park. And now Huel has a game changer. Super Greens drink in a can. It's called the Huel Daily Greens Ready to Drink. Sparkling, delicious, and packed with 42 vitamins, minerals, and superfoods. Only 25 calories, 4 grams of fiber, 1 gram of sugar, and it's made by dietitians. No powders, no pills, just grab and go. Flavors like blueberry, apple, and peach make getting your greens easy and scrumptious. Try Huel with 15% off for new customers today using my code Nashville at Huel.com/Nashville. Fuel your best performance with Huel today. Mayor Freddie O'Connell posted a promo video for the Nashville Innovation Alliance on social media saying, "Innovation lives here. Together with the Nashville Innovation Alliance, we're shaping the next chapter for Music City."
Dun, 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 dun.
The video has text that reads, "We believe that Nashville is the best city to build a future." And then it talks about rigorous collaboration between universities, government, and the private sector to innovate. Y'all, what is this?
Whitney, I'm hoping you know.
It's funny, Nicole, because I really don't. I saw that video and it reminded me a little bit of the videos on Lost. Remember when they got into the bunker?
Yes.
And they found those reels from the Dharma Initiative or whatever it was that made no sense? Anyway, it reminded me of those videotapes. And so we took a little time this week and dug into the website, NashvilleInnovationAlliance.org. And then we started asking around. So the alliance was formed in 2024 as a partnership between Vanderbilt University and the mayor's office as a way to bring together local organizations to develop tech startup companies in Nashville. According to the website, here we go. The aim of the alliance is to grow Nashville's innovation capacity, to create economic expansion and broad-reaching prosperity in a way that is uniquely Nashville. What would uniquely Nashville prosperity look like to the two of you?
Well, it certainly wouldn't look broad-reaching.
It goes on, though. Inspired by the iconic guitar strings that are woven into the fabric of the Nashville community. Does anybody know what that means?
Music, country.
Okay. We strive to amplify harmonious collaboration between talent, investment, and research, the essential components that empower innovation to disrupt and transform. Why does every tech company love to disrupt? Why?
Because they are
It's not like we're going to make it better.
Quo.
It's like we're going to frickin' wreck it.
Yeah, disrupt it.
You know what? First of all, whichever PR company did this, like, get your money back, Vandy, or whoever paid for that. Like, ask for a refund.
Oh my God. And they're not from Nashville. It doesn't sound like this PR company is actually from Nashville. It's just
the iconic guitar strings.
What?
But they have been doing some grants. Marie, what was their first grant?
Well, the first grant was used to help the Nashville Fire Department make decisions about how many people they should have on staff, where to place fire stations, and how to respond more quickly in emergencies. They also host events and programs to help people learn tech skills and connect them with companies that need those skills.
Incubating. We're incubating.
We're synergizing.
With cross-functional stakeholders.
Oh, God.
Should we play a drinking game right now?
Take me out back.
Oh, gosh.
So, question. Can I get a grant for free buses?
Maybe. You need to go to the website.
That would be broad-reaching prosperity, folks.
That's true. I completely agree. That's a great example of disrupting something. We're going to disrupt bus fare by making them free.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So we did all like we're making fun. I'm sure it's lovely, and the people who understand how this stuff works are having the time of their lives. But we did notice one kind of creepy thing on their website under the subcategory of health. And they mentioned that combined with Vanderbilt University Medical Center's BioView, the largest collection of genetic information and medical records of any single academic institution worldwide, gives our city an immense advantage in their work producing results that garner national attention. So everything packaged around that, I don't really care, but genetic information, medical records, our city.
I don't like that.
It's unsettling. I have a lot of questions about what that is meant to signify, because unless this is just a promo ad for Vanderbilt's research, like, I don't know why you would be putting out there. One of the things that is attractive about our city is that we have a huge treasure trove of genetic information and medical records that we will hand over to the Tennessee Attorney General if he asks for them.
I mean, it's a little dodgy, I gotta say. So anyway, I started asking around. A source who works in the medical field told me that for like the past 20 years or so, VUMC has been asking people to consent for their biospecimens to be made available for research, including the use of people's genome sequence. So if you visit Vanderbilt clinics, the source says that you probably would have needed to not opt in, but opt out in order to ensure that your DNA sample was not considered. And it's fully de-identified. So that's good. Your name and your genome sample are purportedly no longer connected, but they've used it for a long time internally. That makes sense. I'm cool with that, right? Research hospital, cure some diseases using all that information, please. They've tried to commercialize it several times, but with limited success, is what my source told me. And they now have a spin-out company that seems to be managing this effort. And here's where it gets interesting, is that they're hoping they can maybe do that via something called the Trusted Exchange Framework and Common Agreement. This is a framework that directly supports nationwide health data sharing by connecting health information networks across the country. Someone else involved in this TEFCA thing is Oracle, and they're listed as an alliance champion on the Nashville Innovation Alliance site. And their health arm is confirmed as a member of this framework. And if you'll recall, they're building that whole thing up there in River North. I don't know what it means. I'm just trying to get information about something that my city is very excited to be promoting and find out what impact it may have for me and disrupting my career future, for example. So if anybody has any info on this, Mayor O'Connell, if you'd like to come on and tell us all about the Nashville Innovation Alliance, we would absolutely love that.
I know I talk shit a lot. Like, that's sort of my deal. I am legitimately interested in learning what this is, because all of the technology innovation speak, it immediately, for me, sends up red flags, just given what we know about how our data is being used in a lot of
surveillance-y kind of ways.
Surveillance-y kind of ways, you know, given the current leadership at the federal level. I'm just a little concerned about all this data floating around. And, you know, maybe I'm a Luddite, but like, I'm 2 seconds away from throwing my phone in the river.
Well, I thought it was an interesting choice of words from Mayor O'Connell last month at their anniversary party. He said, "We're also trying to make innovation part of Metro's DNA."
Too soon.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Too soon? And now it's time for
Donna, good news.
Yes. This week, we do have some good news, thankfully. This year, the Belcourt Theater is celebrating their 100th anniversary. And what better way to celebrate than to go on a brand new free self-guided walking tour called Lights, Camera, Nashville. This is really cool that they are launching this.
I will point out it's a walking and driving tour because we don't have free buses yet. And it comprises 20 miles in length.
It hits up 15 sites. On this walking tour or driving tour, you'll be visiting film locations for movies like Nashville, Coal Miner's Daughter, Walk the Line.
Nashville's a TV show.
No, Nashville was a movie first. Robert Altman. Look it up.
Robert Altman's Nashville.
Okay, my bad.
And it was also a hit television show.
Nicole said something wrong. Hit the bell.
That is a first. Well, even The Matrix, which I had no idea they filmed part of it here in Nashville. Yes. I guess they green screened
the opening sequence.
Yes, yeah. They green screened the Batman building into a roof scene or something. And then my absolute favorite movie filmed in Nashville is The Thing Called Love, starring River Phoenix. It was his last film. Incredible movie. Anyway, this whole tour is narrated by Demetria Kaladimas, which is so cool. Yay! And I actually went to the website, so it's nashvillesites.org, and they have a plethora of all kinds of tours that you can go on, all about, historical tours or whatever, but really amazing stuff. So please check it out at nashvillesites.org.
And now we'd like to move on to our favorite headline, maybe ever. WSMV4 reported this week, after Eric Clapton concert, Pantless woman drove car with missing wheel through Nashville, police say. Headline's pretty self-explanatory, but shout out to 64-year-old Cindy Meeks, who apparently had too good of a time at the Eric Clapton concert Monday night when she was pulled over at Korean Veterans Boulevard and 4th after driving over a curb in a white Jeep Cherokee with damage to the front right tire so severe that only the rim remained. The police noted that she was not wearing any pants or shoes. It doesn't end there. She failed her sobriety field test, and while waiting for a blood test to be completed, MNPD said Cindy got out of her chair and then kicked an officer multiple times in the midsection, allegedly. Cindy, we hope you had a great time at that show, dude.
She just wanted her Layla hanging out.
Oh, my God.
No.
Turns out Cindy Meeks was not so meek.
But, look at us. And then also the most amazing news of the week, Brandi Carlile is in town, I think for Americana Fest, but she's been popping up everywhere. She did a benefit concert Tuesday night for the Theater Bug at Riverside Revival. And then immediately afterwards was seen doing karaoke at the Lipstick Lounge. This made national news, which is so cool. I guess she was singing, she was bringing up guests, and she watched a woman sing The Joke. There's a video of her, dancing to her own song.
Okay, I would not sing The Joke ever, and I certainly would not sing it in front of Brandi Carlile.
No.
You can't sing that song.
No.
That's
Could
hard.
you imagine also like Brandi Carlile singing karaoke and then being called up next? I'd be like, no, I'm good.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Whitney's going to
quit.
come to the stage. She's going to do Bon Jovi's You Give Love a Bad Name. Like what? I'd be screwed. I got nothing in my repertoire.
Right.
Well, speaking of lipstick, we are still eagerly awaiting the opening of Chapstick. It's getting close, y'all. I drive past it every single day. There's patio furniture out there. There's a logo painted on the wall. Sending our love out to Krista and the rest of the lipstick family. Get Chapstick open. When's it going to open? Tell us.
We will be there. And then last but not least, tonight is Fridays by the River. We are a very proud sponsor of this event. We kicked it off last Friday. It was so much fun with so many families and friends and babies and dogs. But we're back tonight with the band Jodel Bravo. And we have food trucks, the Mac Shack, Lady Dogs, Hot Wheels, Mag Mile Pizza, and Sweet So.
Come on out, 3 to 8 p.m. down by the river in Shelby. We'll be there. We'll be sitting at the front table. So come see us, say hi, ask us your questions. If you know anything about the Nashville Innovation Alliance, drop us some knowledge because we want to be better at this tech stuff, but we're just not. Hey, we did it, y'all. It's been another great week here in Nashville. Thanks as always to everyone who has joined our Nashville Neighbors program. We've got a brand new Nashville neighbor. John D., thanks for becoming a CityCast Nashville neighbor. We really appreciate your support of what we do here. And everybody else out there, remember, if you want to become a Nashville neighbor, support our great work and also get great perks like the awesome event we're having on Wednesday. Private. You can't come unless you join. Go to membership.citycast.fm.
Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
Take care of each other.
Bye.
That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Nashville neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. I'm your host, Marie Cecile Anderson. Our executive producer is Whitney Pasterek. Our producer is Daniel Sumstein. Our Hey Nashville newsletter editor is Margaret Kingsbury, with support this week from Selena Say Reynolds and Will Fulton. Our theme music is by Prof Jenkins, with additional music by Dwayne Russell and E.J. Sarah from Triple Scoop Music via Getty Images. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell your friends, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Nashville newsletter. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Doodles.